Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Jess. Alexa, turn studio lamp white. Hello, thank you so much for coming to my live. I am working right now, or getting ready to work on the cover, possible color of my coloring book. And of course, I'm doing it in Procreate. Because, it's better to have a digital image when you are working on something like this. Hi. Make sure I got my screen up to maximum brightness. It is. Okay, we're good to go. So one thing I want to do before I even start is I want to get more line work to her. Makes sense. I'm debating. Where is the colored version? I have a color. I did a color study for her with marker, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck it is. There's stuff everywhere. I think I would have looked for that before the class started, but this is me. This is how I operate. And I just want to say that I am so thankful that we don't seem to be having any problems when it comes to our tech. It looks like the tech gremlins have not struck us yet. This may be a good time at night for me to try to go live around this time. Because I still want to work on my birthstone art. Yeah, I have no clue where I put my and ignore all the markers everywhere. I am currently sorting markers still. I'm giving anybody who wants to come in a chance to come in. But I'm going to start in a moment. Aha, found it. This is my color study. Now, I could very well just, I went back and forth on the idea of just going ahead and scanning this in and using this as the cover, and I still may. We'll see. Because this came out really, really pretty. Because I can very well scan this and add some embellishments to it if I want to use this as the cover. So this was one, come and did it. This was one option as my cover because it leaves enough space for me to put the typography and everything in it. Come on, close out. Go back to my gallery, please. Thank you. The other one was the dance scene. The reason I didn't choose the dance scene is because it is a lot going on in it. And I felt like maybe that would be too much for a cover. What do y'all think? Can y'all hear me? Is the sound good? Okay. I'm just going to go for my first choice then. I'm going to take that as a do the first one. Okay. The first thing is I know that I don't want to start on a white background. I don't want the background to be white. I want the background to look like it is like old age paper. I want to have a little bit. Okay. I know I want that. So that's the first thing we want to start with. Second thing, I want to add some texture to it. Let's see if this brush will work. And I appreciate you guys if you like the video. I just want to add some texture. No, I take that back. And the reason I take that back is I think I need her to be a PNG. I'm going to leave the base as this color though because I like it to bounce off this color, but I just realized I need my base to be a PNG. I am going to put a little bit of texture around her. And what I mean by a PNG, that is a graphic that you create that doesn't have a background in a simple form of putting it. So instead of this being a JPEG, which is a pretty much a photo, and it has a background, a PNG file is an image that you can create that'll have no background. It's basically like a sticker. So when I bring her into my other program, whether it be Canva or Photoshop or Adobe, the only thing I'm bringing in as herself, there will be no background around her. So I'm not gonna pay too much attention to her background, because I plan on not bringing it in. But one thing I want to make sure that I'm using as I do this is I want it to have texture, as much texture as possible. So it's going to be, I may end up bringing her into Photoshop before anything, before moving her to being on the, bring her into Canva or Adobe. And that is because I want this to look like aged old paper. Good evening. Okay, it's better. I'm trying to stick with pastels as much as possible. Like I said, I want everything to have like an aged tinge to it. So you will be seeing me use like a lot of brushes with texture. Not that much, not that much. Too much. Hi. Oh, how I feel about that pink. Do I want that pink to be more peach? Should have gone more peach with my pink. Let's see. But yeah, I think more peach was definitely the way to go. Okay, I like that. I like that better. That way, the peach is gonna help when I bring in the blues because, as you know, peach has more of an orangey undertone. So when I bring in my blues, it's gonna work. Why do I have a random line in here? So like, where's that random line? I knew I see. I was like, why do I have a random line in there? Right there. Right there. All the way out of bounds. How dare you? If you're just getting here, I am working on the possible cover for Paws Proper. And I say possible because when I get in there and I start working with fonts and playing around with things, sometimes I end up changing my idea. I feel like I need another brush other than just that plain brush. Oh, by the way, this was a journey creating this coloring book. I actually created an entire brush set to be able to create this book. Like this book has its own brush that I had to like custom make to help me with it. Where's my painting brushes? I wish I had like a more texture brushes, but I don't. Let me try this one. Okay, this works. Like I wish I had a brush that I have to see if I have a brush that looks like a crayon or something. Paws and Proper. Originally, it was going to be called the Cattertons, but I felt like that was too much of a play on Bridgerton, so it became Paws and Proper. No, I don't think anybody has the type of brush I'm looking for. Painting. Looking. Yes, this is one of my possible covers. A lot of my other covers were like a little too busy. So this is one of the possible covers, but knowing me, I may change my mind. I don't know. So I'll know by the time I finish. The reason why I chose this one is because it has room for typography, you know, for me to put the title of the coloring book and not interfere with anything. The other scene I was considering was a ballroom scene, but it was very, very busy. So I had to see which one is going to be. Depending on how quickly I color this one in, I may get to the other one. And then maybe we can just have a competition to see which one is going to be a cover. This was the color study. This is the colored version of it. So it is a page in the coloring book. And I can't wait to see what people do with it. Orange everywhere. Oh, I'm still working on a few more. But I decided to go and open up pre-orders. I took some advice from a friend that is an author, And she was like, we open pre-orders while we're still writing the book. I was like, okay, okay, okay. But I only have a few more pages to go. They'll be done very soon. I only have like literally only a few more pages to go, and only because I'm being nitpicky. And I decided to add more pages in. But the other coloring books of mine will be back on pre-order as well. So volume one of um dang, what's in Vibe and Color is going back. The spiral bound version is going back on pre-order, as well as Zodiac Dreams, which is also going on pre-order, and it's gonna be printed on with a spiral as well. I realize that as much as I love the perfect binding, it's really beautiful. I prefer to color on a spiral bound book. It just way easier. Pre-order opens Friday. I need to keep the same brush. What brush is that? Okay, I'll keep the same brush. Right, you end up cracking the spine, um, and then it's not as pretty anymore. That's a very very intense. Hmm. There we go. Not so intense anymore. I'm going for more of a softer look than I usually do when I'm doing the covers. The fun thing about doing this digital is if I want to change something, so maybe like, I don't know if I like that color as the background. I can. I can try green, which is actually quite pretty. I can try, and I could lower the saturation so I get more of a pastel. I'll try blues. That teal is pretty. That teal is pretty. um, Gray, purple. And there's that blue. We'll see. I'll play with it once I That's the only thing. I turn off the 2-finger thing. Turn on preference. Ay, ay, ay. Erase. Menu. Oh, mommy, I'm looking for something. Copy paste, clear layer, full screen. I was trying to find my 2-finger touch command. I cut it off because it was getting on my nerves. And now I need it and I can't find it. Oh well. I'm not gonna spend the whole time looking for it. I was trying to find my there we go, back to what color I had. The only thing is trying to remember what color I had beforehand. I believe I had like a peachy color. That was too bright. It was not that bright. There we go. I think it's somewhere in there. Okay. Make myself a new layer. And I'm gonna get started on her flower, which I think is gonna be a. Trying to avoid using white because I want, like I said, I want this to look like it's aged. So I'm trying to avoid using a white. The only thing I wish that in Photoshop I have brushes to make it look like somebody spilled coffee or tea on it. I wish I had those brushes here. I'm too lazy to make them. But I'm gonna have to go through and see if I have any like watercolor brushes that will do that effect for me. Yeah, like an eggshell color. Did y'all hear that? My soul just left my body. I'm using the smudge brush. It's the wrong brush that I want. I need my smudge brush to be gouache. There we go. Okay, now we're cooking with grease. Don't say that. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? I'm blending this, but I want to try to leave some texture here and there. So I'm not blending it out fully. I gotta walk back in my house. I'm currently in my she shed. Now I gotta work back in my house. I'm gonna be freaked out the whole time, trying to figure out what that was. There we go. That flower. Now I want to get over here and come and do this blue flower over here, or lilac flower, whatever color. And this one I'm not gonna blend as much. I want to leave the texture of the brush intact. And just get some more natural look. And I want to add little highlights to it. keeping all of this on separate layers just makes everything a lot easier to work with. So the flowers have their own layer. The hair has its own layer. See, this can be, if you let it be, this can be every bit as relaxing as coloring on paper. If you let it be. If you're not in here worrying about, is the lighting right? Da, 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 da. If you just draw or just color, it can be every bit as relaxing. Yeah, I'm on the layer. I'll make sure I'm on the layer. So you can color digital or traditional. The same rules are going to apply. The only difference is you don't have to commit as much when you're doing digital. You can always erase it and start all over again. But you still have to understand certain things. Like how to pick out your colors and stuff. Because what are you going to do when you have millions of colors at your disposal? You still got to go back to the same principles of color theory. Ugly is ugly. No matter what you program you used. I think I want that to be a little more warm. Contrast going on here. Come on, drag down, thank you. I recently started reading the book, well, recently as in like yesterday. I started reading the book Artist's Way. It's supposed to be this book that's supposed to help creatives unlock the power within or whatever. I don't know. Only reason I started reading it is because Dochi apparently read it and did a whole series on it on YouTube, and I wanted to see. I was like, well, hell, if it helped Dochi, maybe it can help me. I didn't know what to expect of it. The first dang chapter makes me want to punch a wall. Because it's shadow work. One of my assignments is to write down memories and identify who the villains are in my story. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So it's like, in order for me to become a better artist, I first have to identify who told me I couldn't be one. One thing I love about creating, I love when I start to see something pop out. same similar blue. Thank you. Right, like exactly. I was like, I didn't ask you for all this. I thought you was gonna help me, tap into like some new art stuff. I didn't know you was gonna tell me, pretend you're a time traveler, go back in time and find that exact moment when somebody tried to break your spirit and tell you you can't be an artist. Excuse me, you? I didn't know this book came with a side of trauma. But I'm doing the homework though. Every morning I gotta get up and write 3 morning pages of streaming conscious thought. It don't have to make no sense, and you don't have to read it again, and you're not supposed to let nobody see it. So I just be letting the thoughts just, ramble. Like exactly, you in my personal business, and I don't like that. I was trying to get a specific color for this, and that color don't exist. So in order to like make a new color, I'm going over. I'm toning down this blue by going over it with her skin tone at a lower opacity, and now I get to make a new color. So I get that tone down to where I want it to be toned. And I'll probably end up putting a filter over the whole thing that makes it look a little bit aged. Okay, now I'm going to make a clipping mask and attach it to this because I want to start putting a pattern on her. So my thing is, like, do I do her patterns by, I guess I can do her patterns by hand. I was like, do I do her patterns by hand or do I use one of my pattern brushes? To make it interact, let me set this to color layer instead of a normal layer. Color layer. Now it takes on the texture of what's underneath it too. So I don't have to worry about drawing shadows. It'll take on the texture, the color of the shadows as well. And those little scribbles. And I'll go back in with a finer brush in a minute to make it identifiable. And we almost to the halfway point. Darker color and actually give it a sketch liner, give it some definition, a little swelling in it. There we go. That's right. Too much. Too much on there. Thank you. That's one of the reasons why I like doing my lives here, because you can just catch the replay. I'm gonna try to find more creative ways to repost my lives from TikTok. I usually just do them as a speed drawing, but um, I want to find more ways to use them in their full capacity. Thank you. Why did my voice shake like that? Hello. Yeah, this is gonna be the cover for my next coloring book called Paws and Proper. It is a obviously an animal based one, but it is a Bridgerton-inspired one, meaning it takes place in the Regency era. So you're gonna have a lot of those fashions and some references to the show, but not to where you can go in and to see, oh, this character is this animal and this character is this animal. It's random like animals in there. The only character that I did recreate because I love her um is Queen Charlotte. There is a version of Queen Charlotte in the book. She's like the one character I did recreate. It's a cat. Which reminds me, I need to put a little whiskers on her. I don't do commissions at the moment. Well, depending on what it is, but you know. Yeah, yeah. I feel the same. I felt cheated with Penelope's season as well. I felt like they chickened out on us when it came to creating her season. Um, I know there was a lot of concern that, how people would feel about her because of her uh the character's plus size. And I know this because of the news articles. Like the published news articles, there was a lot of concern that fans would like to see her, not because she was, she's plus size. And I think that's why they backed off of her romance. What do you mean by an art trade? And feel free to send me an email if you have any questions on stuff like commissions or anything. Yeah, I do too. I really did like them as a couple. You really didn't get a lot of them. You got a lot of the side characters in their story. And so I feel a little bit cheated for her. Why we didn't get more of her. But we got a new season coming up, so we'll see how it goes. Oops, I didn't mean to delete that. Erase that. You know. I need a different brush. What's the brush I was using? There's supposed to be like a new showrunner doing this new season. I don't know if that means that Shonda is not the showrunner anymore. I know they gave her such a rough time. Maybe they'll give us more of her in the next seasons to make up for it. Okay, what brush do I need? Okay. I'm being very like deliberate with my shading. I feel like she needs, but I don't want to put them directly on her face in case I don't like them. I am gonna give her little whiskers just to make it known that this is in fact the kitty cat. Yeah, the whiskers sell it. My little pearls here. Oh, she's a cat. I have a fox. You'll be able to tell it that she's a cat. It's just her profile looks that way, but I have a fox. Come on, let me out. Where's my fox? This is my fox. See how the profile is slightly different? Or is that my wolf? No, I take it back. That's a wolf. And you know how I remember is she's a wolf because she's singing with the pig. This is the wolf and she's singing with the pig, and they're doing an opera rendition of Three Little Pigs. The ultimate Romeo and Juliet. That's how I saw. This is my fox. So she had. This is my fox. So there is a fox, and I may add a male fox as well. But there is a fox. That's the fox. There's a rooster too, but I don't know. I haven't figured out where I'm gonna put him yet. But there's a rooster as well, and who I absolutely love. He's my favorite character. But yeah, yeah, there'll be little plays on certain things in there. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm going on around. I'm forgetting that I need to give her her. Those are the things I try to remember when I'm planning out my scenes. Like, wouldn't it be scandalous if one of the pigs fell in love with the sister of the wolf that basically tried to destroy their whole family? Had also been very scandalous. What if the wolf was just like an angry ex? Kept getting locked out of the house. See, my intrusive thoughts be coming into play. I know. And I was debating on putting little stories in between the pages. I was debating on putting little stories in between the pages. So anybody who thought that Procreate was a little scary, it does not have to be. It can Your Procreate does not have to look like it's a conceptual art from DreamWorks. I always tell people, you can draw with texture. You can use textures. So is this a coloring book y'all would be interested in? Or do y'all more like the the figures, the girls? We're talking about a plethora of things. But right now I am creating the cover of my next coloring book. It is a animal coloring book that is Bridgerton-inspired. I was asking, do y'all prefer animal-based coloring books like the ones that you see that are popular on all the other apps, or do you like the ones that have the people in them, like my other coloring books, Zodiac Dreams, and dang it, what's the other one name? Vibe and Color. Why does my brain keep forgetting my own brand? I didn't mean for those to be that dark. Thank you. Yeah, I I don't think people realize how vulnerable I'm being by releasing this coloring book, because I don't know if y'all read the story, which I am going to talk about it more. I was kind of bullied out of doing this style of art. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be drawing my girls because I truly, truly love drawing them. So you're going to see that mainly out of me more than anything. But I did want to reclaim this part of my creativeness. It challenges me in a completely different way when it comes to storytelling. Don't want this right here. Move that one. I don't want to move this one over. Rotate it. Thank you. What was the question, Neil? Thank you, Moon. So I was just yammering away. I didn't realize I didn't see what you were asking really about. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh yes. Absolutely. Yeah, I was talking earlier about the book The Artist's Way. Book is seeing a resurgence because of Dochi, the singer rapper, did like a journey with The Artist's Way, and people are talking about that book now. And I just got it. And one of the in the first chapter, they literally punch you in the throat and throw you against the wall and tell you to identify the villains in your story as to what holds you back as an artist. And so I had to write out all the things that people have said to me that have stopped me from creating art or certain types of art. And when it comes to me drawing in this style, you would not believe. It's such a cute little innocent style. You wouldn't believe some of the mean stuff I've heard. Yeah. To my face. Like, this is not me over exaggerating. To my face. People are bold. Oh, yeah, I was traumatized for a little bit. Not just this style too. That's the thing about me. That's why it was so hard for me to niche down for so long, because I have multiple art styles. I can color like this. I also have a whole collection of characters that are based on Louisiana and hoodoo lore. I have a whole cast of characters that I don't fully show a lot. You may have seen Rue. She's the little yellow doll with the pink hair. Um, I don't show that a lot locally because people are like, "You drawing voodoo dolls?" It's it's a thing. It's a whole thing. I was like, "Why y'all make me hide who I am?" I'll be talking about that more in some vlogs. Um, because I said I'm gonna start vlogging soon to tell my story more. And yeah, yeah. If I told y'all when y'all hear some of the stuff that I was told, because I was like, "Why am I holding this in? I might as well just expose a lot of this stuff." Because maybe it'll help somebody else. Say, no, it's not just you. We all go through it. Anybody who wants to do anything, especially if it's not normal, considered normal, you're going to face some opposition if you step out of line and try to do anything different. Oh, I know. I know. I think everybody knows we should never hide who we are, but it takes a lot of shadow work, personal work, and knowing of yourself to get to the point where you're okay with that. People will go their entire lives and never ever truly be who they are. Their entire lives. And it's hard, and we're programmed to be that way. And so it takes a lot of work to unprogram yourself. Okay, now I want to do my. They say if it was easy, everybody would do it, you know. And that goes for anything. That goes for anybody who's trying to maybe break a generational curse, anybody who is trying to do anything in their life. Maybe you want to be a social media influencer or a podcaster, or you want to be a doctor or anything, You're always going to have negative thoughts of your own that somebody has planted there. And art just happens to be, well, all forms of art just happen to be something that a lot of people run away from. One of the best pieces of advice that I got from like an art director was, she said, when you step out and you try to become, the artist or the illustrator you want to be, invest in a therapist. That should be the number one thing that you invest in, because it's going to be hard. And she was not lying. It's one of the reasons why one day I want to start coaching other artists, because it's gonna be hard. There's no, unless you're coming from money, it's gonna be hard. And even if you come from money, there's still internal work you have to do. This is gonna be cute. And I'm happy that that happens. I'm happy to inspire, for people to say that I inspire them, because there were certain plenty of times where I myself wanted to stop creating. I should have did this as a. I don't know why I didn't think to do it. I should have turned on symmetry, and symmetry would have mirrored my movements on the other side of the canvas. I wouldn't have to have gone all the way around. But yes, I was told by a fellow artist, one who I thought was my friend, that I should not be getting the accolades that I was getting, because all I do is draw cats and characters from Louisiana, and I shouldn't be getting any recognition from that. Told it to me in my face in front of a group of people. Whole room went silent. What, the symmetry? Yes, that's under your drawing assist. Oh yeah, I have a bunch of stories like that. People got real bold. People got really bold with telling me however they felt about me. Now, you don't see that happen as much to me now because I have a voice. Back then I did not. This was years ago. I was in my 20s though. That's not to say people still don't try me. It's just that they don't walk away unscathed when they do. They still try me. Now, normally I'd be freaking out trying to make sure that I stayed in the lines, but I'm purposely like allowing the imperfections to stay because I want this to have more of a natural feel. Otherwise, you'd see me going back like, oh, where'd that come from? Go back in the line. But we'll see. Once I turn the background off, we'll see if it bothers me or not that I want to start the lines with these. Yeah, you. There's a lot of tips and tricks to using Procreate. I just realized she needs more shadows inside of her little dome. Of your knees. Okay, now just go back up here. I'm gonna make a clipping mask so that everything that I draw stays within the parameters of. Right. Now I'm gonna see if it lets me use the drawing tool. It really it helps, but I want to make sure that I get it perfectly even. So that's the 2D grid. That's all I need. The symmetry grid, and I need to make sure it's perfectly in the middle. All right, so that I get exact symmetry when I'm shading. Okay. Let's see if I hit it right. Looks like I did. What brush am I using? Brush back. Look, if you can, let me zoom in a little bit. I don't know if you could tell. If I touch this side right here, it'll show up right here. Get a little more darkness in there. Can you see it? I don't know how well it's showing on screen. It would be cute. Now, I will say, I always give people a warning. I am not necessarily kid friendly. I always give people that disclaimer. I'm not kid friendly because you never know when I'm gonna curse. That's why I always emphasize that my coloring books are adult coloring books, even though they're cutesy. I don't want nobody to be like, "You didn't my child," and I was like, "I'm sorry. Y'all know my mouth runs away." So you can't really see. Oh, if you zoom out, you'll see that it's automatically shading the other side for me. See, that is in your drawing guide. It's called symmetry. There's different forms of it. This is just straight up and down, left to right symmetry, but they also have radial symmetry. There's also a perspective tool that helps you draw in perspective. There's all kind of little things to help you in Procreate. Yeah, I just like to warn people, because I've been asked several times to do things with kids. It's, oh, my kid would love you, my kid would love you, and I'd be like, don't do that. Don't do that. What do you mean you haven't even purchased Procreate? You better get it before it go up in price. Procreate used to be free, and then it went to like five. Well, was it free or was it cheap? It was dirt cheap. When I got it, it was $12.99, but at one point it was cheaper than that. So I'm like, even if you don't use it, you need to get it and put it on your iPad because you never know when it's going to go up. And I'm just hoping that it doesn't become like subscription based and they just leave it as it is. Because I'd be so heartbroken if it became like a subscription based app. So I was telling people, even if you don't draw, people use Procreate to color in now. They'll scan their coloring book pages into Procreate and color here. That's why everybody's like, "Are you gonna put out a digital version?" I'm like, "You don't need a digital version. You just need to scan it." All right, I'm gonna turn Draw and Assist off because I don't want it for my highlights. My highlights I'm gonna do by hand. I prefer to do those by hand because I want them to be in specific places. Yeah, see, it goes up in price. So I was like, don't wait to buy it. Buy it now before you look up and it's like $40, which it would be worth it. It would 100% be worth it. And there's so many tutorials. You just never know when your favorite artist might just drop a full course on how to draw and procreate for people who are scared. I used to be scared of it. I used to be scared of digital art in general. I used to think that digital art was going to take my soul. I kid you not. I said, I don't want to use that thing. Now look at me, scared of a sketchbook. I posted a video of me sketching on TikTok the other day, and I was like, this is trash. If it wasn't for the fact that I had to show off these pens, I would never post this. And then I get all the comments, this looks great. Y'all are lying. Y'all are lying. I want to see you do more sketchbook pages on live. No, you don't. No, you don't. They say don't meet your heroes. Don't ever look at your hero actually draw. First of all, I don't like to be perceived when I'm sketching. I don't want to be perceived at all. When it's time for me to sketch something, I physically morph into the dang creature from Lord of the Rings. I forgot his name. There is a I'm debating if she needs little white highlights like you would put with a gel pen or not. Schmiegel, yeah. That's his name, Schmiegel. It's either Smeagol or the dang elf from Harry Potter. I'm going to turn it off. That is what it looks like without the background, which is what I want to see because this is how I would bring it into I'm going to smear that a little bit. So it's not as crisp. And delete some of it off. I'm going to use a soft brush to do so. Trying to soften these little edges I put around it. If I wanted this whole thing to have a, well, first of all, let me make this all into one group so it's not just everywhere. Group. So it's all in its one group. So I can turn it off and on. It's now in one group. But if I wanted to do some edits to the whole thing without, oh, turn that thing off. I can't see. I want that line gone. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically take a picture of it by copy canvas, and then 3 fingers down. Come on, don't embarrass me. 3 fingers down. Paste. So basically, I just pasted another version of it on top. So now I can mess around with this and not affect the layers underneath. Right? Let me turn this one back on. So by doing this, if I wanted to make this look as if I had colored half of it and left the other half uncolored, that's why I made another copy of it. So I can take my eraser and I can just, so now it gives the effect that one half has been colored and the rest of it hasn't. So that's one option I can do. So it gives people a preview of what it looks like uncolored and then colored. That's how you get that effect. So I'm going to save that for myself. See? So I'm going to save this version of it because maybe I want it to look like, you know, half of it was colored and half of it wasn't. So what I want to do is, well, first of all, I need to sign this. So I need to go to my canvas, canvas information, artwork, keyboard. Proper. Probably spelling proper all wrong. Anyway, it's only going to be on my end. 1, because that's this is version 1, and then of course this is Jean-Claude art. And usually if I have time, I'll upload my logo. But this is your first step of copyrighting your work, because it timestamps you. Alright, sign it. Now, I'm going to submit all of my work to the official copyright office with the government, but I always take this step as well. Now I need to share this with myself, and I'm going to share it as a PNG, which means when I upload it, it will have no background to it, so I can put any type of background I want behind it. So I'm going to do it as a PNG. I'm going to go ahead and save it to my files, my iCloud drive, so I can open it up on my computer, and that's done. And so I have that version of it. I'm gonna cut that off, cut this back on. Now I want a version of the original thing, so I'm going to just send the PNG. So once again, I'm saving it to my art files. And I'm gonna rename this Paws Proper 2, so I don't get them confused. Return. Save. Remember, I have everything in separate layers. Now, if I wanted to go even further with this, I could cut that off, and I could clean up all the little pieces that's in here, and I could give it a white outline and turn this into a sticker, like have it physically turned into a sticker, which I may do. This may be a very nice sticker that can come with the artwork, with the book when you order it. This is why I like doing a lot of things digitally. Yes, you can do this traditionally, obviously. I could have scanned this in, gotten rid of the background, and used this however. But I just like doing it digitally because it gave me all those options. Like, how else would I be able to do this to give you that effect? And so, you know, a number of things could be done. When you create something digitally, it just makes it a lot easier for me to get things done. Like I said, I could turn this into a sticker. I could make it into a magnetic bookmark if I wanted to. I could have it printed on cups, which I may just do. I may just have it printed on coffee mugs. Because what else goes with like Bridgerton other than a coffee mug? So there's a lot of things. This is why I swear up and down behind Procreate. and doing things traditionally, because they work hand in hand. The better you are at this, the better you are at this. They work hand in hand. So that is what I believe will be the cover. I'm pretty sold on this being the cover. I think it came out really beautiful, and I feel like it, with Bridgerton's Lady Whistledown paper having the cameo as like the logo on the paper, I think that's what makes this fit. Yes, it can be a magnet. It can be printed on a t-shirt or a tote bag. Well, there's no sublimation teacup, so it has to be a coffee cup. I have a whole collection of coffee cups that I could print on in house, which is why it would be that, or a tumbler, because I have a whole bunch of tumblers. So now my next step would be uploading it into the computer, bringing it into either Canva or Adobe. What is it called? Adobe Effects, and finding and getting the right font. So I think I did the right choice by choosing this one as my cover, because of, you could do so much with it. The other, I need to back up everything on my computer. This thing is moving slow. The other cover would have been, I was looking at, was this one, but like I said, I felt like it was so busy. There's so much going on, and I really wanted a very simple look for this coloring book. But it's going to be a great coloring page. It's going to be a beautiful coloring page. The Queen was another one, but again, she's very busy. Thank you. So I was like, I feel like she was very busy, and she would compete with the title of the book, which is why I did not choose her, even though she is my favorite page. You will probably see me color her in another live. Yes, it's very busy. Like, I have busier pages, and then I have simpler pages, because maybe you don't want to do all that today. And I have like little vignettes where it's all broken up, and you can choose to color one part today, another part today. So I have a blend between simpler pages and more and harder pages in here. So I think I made the right. The other choice would have been him as the cover, which I am going to color him anyway, because I feel like I can use him for different things. This is the Duke. This is my Duke. He is one of the catches that everybody is trying to get. No, it was mainly her. Like I said, the other coloring, the simple one would have been just him. And the reason I was leaning to more using him is because it was his artwork that inspired me to do the whole thing. This was he was originally a painting that I did years ago. He was originally a painting, and he was the one who inspired the full book. Let me see if I have him. This was his original painting that I did years ago, back when I was still doing the animals. Um, he's painted with coffee. It's brown ink and coffee that I painted him with. So he and I had a couple other ones, but a lot of them got lost or in a move or destroyed. A lot has happened in my life, but for some reason I was able to keep hold of him. And when I saw him, I was like, um, why don't I just turn him into a full coloring book? So that's where we got this from. This couple, which I actually changed them and gave him a whole full background. I painted them years ago and I turned it into a decorative pillow with like little fancy pom poms going around the pillow because I used to make stuffed dolls and pillows. It feels like an entire lifetime ago. That's where this couple came from. Except she had a completely different dress. She had a more elaborate dress, and I changed her dress so it matched the fashion of the era. But her dress was like she had like a fully cinched in waist with like a full blown skirt. She was having a moment. Let me see some of my other characters. And you can actually see if I turn off my drawings, you can actually see not you. Where's the original artwork? You can actually see my original drawings that I use as the base. Like I said, I had entire sketchbooks just full of fancy animals. Just full of them. I even had like a children's book where each letter there was a fancy animal, and for the life of me I wish I would have scanned the entire book in. Oh, I wish I would have scanned the entire book in. But like I said, I changed my drawing style not because I don't like drawing the girls that I currently draw. I do. You see, I took the originals and I started making them fit this era more. You're never gonna get me to stop drawing my beautiful girls and my nails and my lips. That's always gonna be there. But there was a part of me that felt like I didn't give a fair shot to my animals because of the way that I stopped drawing them. And it wasn't just because like regular people were bullying me. It was people that I had like looked up to. Also, when I was trying to find a job, I remember I was going for an internship with Oshkosh and uh, Carter's, and I was to the final phase where they were like reviewing portfolios, and they told me that I wasn't going to move forward because my artwork was too sassy and my animals were too sassy and they would scare little girls. And I think that was kind of like my final straw. That was like one of my final straws. That was after everything I had been through. That was like the last thing I wanted to hear. Um, and then when I found an illustration company that was going to take me on and I was going to be assigned an agent and get work, they told me that I couldn't draw the girls anymore because I was still drawing everything. I was still drawing it all. And they would tell me I can't draw the girls anymore, or that I can't show that I draw the girls. That would have to be a whole different identity of mine. And I didn't want to not draw my girls, so I decided not to go with that agency. So yeah, this book was a long time coming. Is as I had like a mutual ask me, was I trying to get on board with the Coco Wyo since they draw the animals and everything. I was like, no, this is always in me. This is always in me. Yeah, it told me my stuff is too sassy. And you know what? At first, I took that as an insult, but then I realized I was like, no, they're right. So now, whenever I have to state my brand mission or I have to do an artist statement, I make a point to tell you, yes, my artwork is very sassy. It's hyper femme. Yes, the cats are fancy. They're sassy. Have you met an unsassy cat before? I haven't. Every cat I've met has the personality of Prince, the artist. Every single one. I haven't met one that isn't sassy. And like I said, I have other artwork that throughout this year and coming years you will see more of. Um, and they may not all fit together. It's okay. They fit together in my head. They all come from me. As a matter of fact, if I can get the camera to go all the way up. Hello, girls. That painting up there pretty much shows that all of them fit together because you have my girls, you have the cats, and then you have Rue, the rag doll, who is one of my title characters. So I've done paintings with all of them together. I just have to update the girls because I draw way better than that now. So yeah, I love the way this page came out too. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. But I think my favorite thing in the whole page, for one, is the small details like the little candle opera. But the cat, the cat gets me every time. He's so because like I said, he's so upset. He's so pissed. He was like, "You're not paying attention to me." He's plotting our demise. And yes, the idea of the animals still having pets is very much a play on Hello Kitty, and the fact that they say Hello Kitty is a little girl and Hello Kitty has a pet kitty. So yeah, I have different pages and things that I'm working on. Very very sad girl. I think I might play with her face a little more. That didn't sound right. I think I might redraw her face, but yeah, I have a couple, a few of them that I'm working on. Exact. Oh, I hated Lucifer as a kid. As an adult, I was like, I want that cat. I want that cat. Like I said, we have some very, very detailed pages. This hair took too dang long. But I knew that if I released my book and I did not include a schnauzer, people would yell out mutiny because I have a mini schnauzer. So I was like, we got it. I have to do a schnauzer. So we got simple pages. This is another page that I thought was really, really fun. So you're getting kind of a sneak peek at them. Oh, this is another page that was really fun. It's a simpler page. This is my version of simple. Can you go simpler? No, this is my version of simple. This is about as simple as you can get out of me. Take your time, sit down, settle down. Look, with the amount of dog hair she leaves around my house, you would think that she had that much in her head. That's why she's not allowed in my studio because I process orders in here, and I was like, you cannot come in here. This was another one that was originally a painting. I don't know what happened to the painting, but This one's another one that's a little busy, but like I said, it goes with the era. Anytime you look at a still image of Queen Charlotte, the image is always very busy. But I do try to find a balance for you. I don't want everything to be like, oh my gosh, she's trying to kill me. You know, we got a little bathtub moment, little sassy ducky. Yeah, ducky. And, you know, I have simpler ones where you'll get to actually draw the vases with the roses, and I might put some little butterflies and stuff in the background. And then I have my standalone characters who I have no idea where I'm sticking them. They're supposed to go somewhere. I'm like, where I drew y'all and I want to use y'all. I don't know where to put you. Especially her, because like she's in the debutante diamond outfit where the queen chooses her diamond. So I was like, where I have to create a whole scene around her. And you can just tell by looking at her, she's very stuck up. She's Her personality is kind of based on the character from last season. Well, she's in every season, but the one, what is her name? It's not Cassandra, is it? Is it Cassandra? The one with the elaborate outfit. Every time you see it, she got elaborate sleeves. I have this one. Did I wait? Didn't I ink you? I did ink you. Yeah, I'm about to say I know I inked you. Yes, the blonde chick. As much as she got on my nerves, you think I would know her name, but she served fashion the whole season. The whole season, she was eating them up. And then my personal favorite out of all of my characters is him. He's my first. I don't know what it is. And I live near a rooster. Every morning that sucker goes off. And I was like, sir, I am going to turn you. I was about to tell. I told him one morning I was going to turn him into bacon, but then I realized that was impossible because it's a different animal. But he didn't understand that. All he knew was fear in that moment. Well, then you will love this page. You will love this page then. Because him and the Duke are my two favorites. Because where else have you seen a more sophisticated rooster? Right, right. Yes, he is from the house of Chanticleer. I don't know how many people who know that name. Yeah, I said if it wasn't gonna be the leopard, it would have definitely ended up being him as my main guy. But I have to draw. He's gonna be in a scene as well. So I said I'm still working things out, but I wanted to put that on pre-order, for people to start ordering it because it's not gonna take me that much longer to finish it. As you can see, I have characters fully drawn out. They just need scenes. But thank y'all for coming to hang out with me and getting like a sneak peek at this book that I have been working on for a while now. Remember, like I said, in addition to this being going on pre-order, Vibe and Color will also be on pre-order, so you can get the spiral bound version. Zodiac Dreams is going to go back on pre-order. Instead of this, it's going to be spiral bound. Because I know not everybody wants the loose coloring pages. They want theirs bound, so you have the option for that. And so I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that. The pre-orders will open up Friday. You'll get an email with the link. Um, you will get an email with the link. And I'm going to start posting about it on TikTok and IG starting tomorrow. So you'll start seeing things there. If y'all see me post, please give a comment, give a like, share it, pass it along. But thank y'all for stopping by. Y'all have a great night and see y'all Sunday. See y'all Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you.